Mystery and crime writers, you are very emotional right now. I'm going to advise you to try to ground yourself a little bit more. There seems to be a decision coming up, and it's going to be kind of hard to uh, choose the decision that is going to best benefit you. So, if you've never seen me before, I'm Chris, and I help screenwriters and fiction authors write five-dimensional stories with my tarot cards. Before we do get started, if you would like to learn how to read tarot cards and have a five-dimensional first draft by the astrological new year, please take a look down in the description box below for my new offer called the 30/30. Within the 30/30, I'm actually going to be teaching these writers how to use 30 spreads to write a five-dimensional first draft. And if you get in now, you'll actually start learning the tarot card meanings now. And then by the time we get to the actual program, the actual thing, the actual event, you'll actually know some of the meanings and it'll be a lot easier for you to catch on. So the first card that you got was the Eight of Wands in reverse. It seems like there's no movement right now, which is good, which is fine. It seems to be going a little slow, but it's okay. Here you have the Knight of Swords. Seems like you're talking a lot, which is fine. I feel like it's a little bit more chatting, a little bit more too chattering. You might want to be careful about what you say, but you might be talking before you know who you're talking to, kind of a thing. Here you have the Two of Cups in reverse. Usually the Two of Cups is meeting somebody new. I don't think that you need to meet anybody new at the moment. I think that you are getting more in tune with your inner self. In addition to the Knight of Swords, you also have the Page of Swords. I think that you're actually opening yourself up to new ideas, listening to those messages, and also as you're talking to all these people, I think that you're actually allowing them to help you shape what your project is meant to be. Here you have the Hanged Man in reverse. The Hanged Man is usually about taking a pause and trying to see somebody else's point of view. I think that you probably don't need to see someone else's point of view. Take what the suggestions that you're getting from other people and stay true to what your own vision is for your project. Here you have the Two of Swords. It seems like you're going to be making a decision fairly soon. And the card that kind of got me a little bit is actually the next card. So most of these cards seem pretty happy, pretty fun, pretty good, pretty flowy. But you got the Moon in reverse. To me, the moon, we're walking around and we can see where we're going, but we have to still shine our flashlights on some dark alleys and to make sure we're not going to overstep or step on something we don't want to aggravate or that kind of a thing. With the moon in reverse, it does kind of feel like you might be doing that a little bit more on the inside. However, I think that this card is more connected to your decision that you're going to make. This one feels a little out of left field a little bit. Usually in the Two of Swords, there is a moon involved in here, and I tell my querents that when they are trying to make a decision, follow their gut instinct. What it feels like with this being in reverse and with the decision coming up and with all these being good cards, what it feels like is what you will know what gut instinctually you should be doing, but I think it's going to be hard for you to accept in order to do it, which I think is going to cause a mental trap. This is the Eight of Swords. But I still want you to celebrate how far you've come. This is the Four of Wands. I like to think of this as a planned celebration. So a graduation, a wedding, that kind of a birthday party, that kind of a thing, a big celebration. So the card at the bottom of the deck you got is the King of Cups. Usually the King of Cups can control his emotions fairly well, but because there's a lot of emotion on the board, I have a feeling you might be going a little bit overboard. I have a feeling you're letting that emotion you're talking too much about the emotion, or you're doing too much because of the Page and Knight of Swords. It just kind of feels like the emotion is coming out in words and maybe not out in actions, which is probably why you're feeling the Eight of Wands in reverse. Numbers that you're going to want to pay attention to are 8, 2, 2, 1, 12, 2, 18, 8, 4, and 4. If you add all those up, you get 61. 6 plus 1 equals 7, and 7 in the major arcana is the Chariot card. So I think that with whatever decision you're going to make, I need you to remember that you are the one in control of the project. The Chariot usually has a picture of a guy who's driving a chariot with two sphinxes or two horses or two wild animals. And you need to understand that those wild animals are going to go whatever which way they want to go unless you pull on the reins and tell them where you want them to go. So you just need to remember that you are in control of this. In order to get more control over your emotions and where you're going with this, though, I do think you need to ground yourself. And that's the next part that I'm going to get into. Elementally wise, we have earth, air, fire, and water. You have no earth. There is none on this board. So I really want you to pay attention to Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. That might help you find out what this moon in reverse is trying to tell you, and also what this decision is that you're going to be making fairly soon. Colors that you're probably going to want to pay attention to are lime green and red orange. I do pull 3 extra cards for you, and the first one we got was Sloth, which is actually very kind of interesting because of the eight of wands that you got that's reversed. The next card that you got is Stay on Target, but it's in reverse. I have a feeling this has to do with a little bit of that decision that you're going to be making, and you might feel a little off target, but you might know that it's the one that you need to make. Reread your story so far. Did you foreshadow anything without realizing it? Can you use that foreshadowing to write a new event and drive the story forward? Now I'm using the transparent tarot, so I'm going to give you one more layer to what's happening here with your project. Here we have the top 3 cards kind of layered on top of each other. I saw the fire kind of going down. It feels a bit like it feels like fire's going out a little bit. But he's also ignoring that fire. So I wonder if there's something there. These are the 2 of Cups. I wonder if he's turning his back on somebody. I don't know if that's kind of resonating, but because the 2 of Cups is reversed, it makes me kind of wonder if maybe he's not quite whoever he is, whoever this is. It makes me feel like there's a relationship he's probably not embracing. This is the middle row. You've got this 2 of Swords guy right in the middle trying to make a decision. Apparently this page is trying to run away from this decision, which kind of makes sense because of that moon reverse that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But really make sure that you kind of stick your ground, stay where you are. Don't run away from it though. I have a feeling you're trying to run away from it, but don't run away from this decision that you need to make. And this is the final row. This looks very ceremonial to me. You got the moon, you got 2 people kind of holding things up above this one woman, and almost seems like a sacrifice. So it seems very ceremonial to me. So you might need to sacrifice someone or something in your project, even though you may not want to. That makes a little bit more sense. It feels like you might have fallen in love with a character and you don't want to hurt your audience's feelings or something, but I have a feeling you might need to do that. I was editing this and I have one more image to show you. This is all 10 cards stacked on top of each other. So whatever this says about your project, whatever you see, go for it. If you would like to learn how to read tarot cards and write a 5-dimensional first draft by the astrological new year in 2025, please take a look down at the description box below. There is a new offer called the 30/30 where I'm going to be teaching writers how to use 30 tarot spreads to write a full first draft by March of 2025. And if you get them now, you'll actually start learning the tarot card meanings first, so that when we get there, you won't be so overwhelmed. And you will also be able to kind of feel more in flow with it. With that, please like, subscribe, follow, and share, and happy Halloween.